Life can be such a very complicated thing sometimes. Now, growing up, you may have been told that you gotta go to school, graduate, then go to college, graduate, and then go to work, get a good paying job, and then have kids, and then retire, and then die. But one thing I want to say is that when it comes to the workplace, there's also a lot of stigmas of people saying, "Oh, you gotta bootlick the company, you gotta bootlick your boss, and you also gotta fucking die for the company and everything, no matter what, even if it costs at your own expense." And honestly, guys, I gotta say is I disagree. Now, I can understand why some people would want some good workers in their business and everything because I have like a business minded mindset too, a little bit. But the problem is that these people don't take care of their workers. They look at them as a number and they just don't give a fuck. And that's also another problem in today's modern society. I find it absolutely terrifying that so many people rely on these companies just to make a living, and that's fine if you want to make a living and get by in life. That's not a big issue. But it does scare me that there's people are willing to drop people's livelihoods just on the spot, and I don't think that's fair at all. And I think it's fucking crazy. And it doesn't matter how hard you work either, because I've also seen horror stories and witnessed it myself. That when I worked at Walmart, there was this guy who always showed up on time. He worked super hard and everything. He was an older guy. He was basically past retirement, just working at a part-time Walmart job, just to enjoy himself before he retires or dies. Right? Here's what's crazy. So he decides, he was not feeling very well, and apparently he fucking starts puking up blood, right? And he starts having a heart attack within the workplace. And what's really scary is that like he basically was on the floor bleeding and shit from puking up blood, and they actually escorted him out to the hospital. And here's what's really sad. This guy was in his 70s, right? And all of a sudden, he dies. And here's the crazy part, too. When I heard about that this coworker died, I was shocked. And the sad part is, there was not a single memorial. There was not a single fucking remembrance or, a fucking moment of silence for him or nothing. It was fucked up, and they just continued like it was a normal day. Not even like a cupcake or party or nothing. And just act like they just didn't care. It was the most biggest wake-up call I learned when I was like 20 years old. And that's when I kind of realized is, fucking put yourself first when it comes to your health. You are definitely replaceable no matter where you work at in most jobs. It's really sad. Like the higher up jobs, maybe you might have more benefit of the doubt if they value you more, but it also depends on the boss. But most of the time, dude, they just don't fucking care. I've also witnessed other coworkers get chewed at by their boss for just the smallest little things sometimes because they are toxic and shitty. And they're saying that, oh, I can replace you in a heartbeat if you don't get this together. And usually sometimes it's a scare tactic, but it's still not a very good, healthy mindset to have. And it's extremely terrifying for the employer side thinking that their livelihood's going to be just taken away just like that. It's not very good and it's fucking messed up. I'll also never forget a coworker at Amazon basically threw out her back just trying to, pick up a box from like a inbound area. And it was terrifying because when she threw out her back, she was in a stupid ass lawsuit with Amazon for like 9 months. But here's the stupid part. When you're in a lawsuit with a company, you just don't keep showing up to work and doing the small labor while trying to work there and stuff. So what happened was this lady was, making up stickers and everything, putting stickers on the warehouse that label where things are because she couldn't do any hardcore labor. And it was stupid because at the end of the day, she ended up losing the lawsuit because she kept working there still, and it was just dumb. Fucking dumb. There was also another story I witnessed about another lady that was at the Rockhurst High School temp service agency, and she actually got fucking fired illegally from another job at FedEx, and I also can relate because I used to work there too, and they don't treat people very well either. And it's really sad because when she got fired, she got fired just unfairly because she was sick, and she actually told them, sent them doctor's notes and everything, even had a submission for a leave of absence, and that was approved. And what's fucked up was, they just didn't care, and they actually told her that, you got fired while she was working mid-shift. I also believe it, too, because when I worked at that same exact company, I remember talking to a guy who was a higher up. He was like the coolest guy ever. He was 26 years old at the time, and I was 22. And the freakiest part was, when I was talking to this dude, I was talking to him about life and everything, talking about how their 20s go by fast, because he was 26, and it felt like now, it's kind of scary. I'm 27. The sad part is we're talking about how life can go take us by and everything, and we take life for granted. And we're talking about death a little bit. And it was the last conversation I ever had with them, right? And here's the crazy part. On my Facebook page, all of a sudden I see that he died on a ventilator from COVID and other symptoms too, and also from his job. And it's really scary because he literally worked so much at his job that he worked himself to basically to death. He was working constant overtime and everything, and I remember he had breathing problems. And I think that's what did it for him too. And it was really tragic. And the saddest thing about this whole situation was he was about to get married in like 1 month, right? And that was like really tragic because I felt super horrible for his fiance or soon to be wife, because I couldn't imagine going through that level of pain where you basically found someone, you feel like you're about to get married, and boom, he's just gone. Super sad. Another crazy thing about this whole situation was his family was protesting in front of the grounds at FedEx, in front of the gates and everything, about his death and everything, because he worked there for like 6 years and they didn't even care. And the saddest part is the company went out, called the police on them, and they all got arrested and detained. It was absolutely crazy, and they all got charged with trespassing. And that's when it made me also realize is, yeah, there's no fucking morals when it comes to these type of corporations. Most people at jobs, you're just going to be replaced in a heartbeat. Stuff like this is why a lot of people do something like quiet quitting, where they basically do the bare minimal, which is actually kind of a funny term because it's the required terms for a lot of people to do at jobs. But, you know, they may exploit people and make them go above and beyond. And I find that shit really ridiculous that there's even a term for it, and it's somehow a bad thing to hire up corporations. I find that shit fucking crazy. And a lot of people really don't really acknowledge this shit until it really happens to them. And then there was the one time, like I said, it did happen to me at the Amazon warehouse. And yeah, it kind of gave me a different perspective on everything. And the funny part about that whole situation, by the way, is that Amazon warehouse actually had like some type of hospital bed. Like if they really wanted me to work while I had this crazy ass fever, I could have negotiated with them as a joke and been like, yeah, man, you got a hospital bed and shit. I don't feel good. I can drive to work, but I got fucking soup and shit. If you want me here so bad and not fire me, you're gonna let me lay in this hospital bed so I get better. I don't know if you guys know about this type of shit at the warehouse at Amazon, but they actually have these nursing centers that's very similar to like a high school, where you just go to the nurse's office, you sit down, you get like a fucking Band-Aid or an ice pack or something, and then you kind of go back out there if you're feeling better type of shit. It's kind of wild. This shit is also the reason why I'm trying so hard to work for myself. It's so fucking difficult, but it is worth every minute and every penny of pursuing something that you really want to do. I'm kind of glad I started when I was like 18, because I couldn't imagine doing this shit like now, in terms of like trying to figure stuff out, see what works and see what doesn't, because there's a lot of growing pains when it comes to pursuing something like content creation on here. All I gotta say is that just do your job, do enough where you don't get fired, is basically what my motto is. And that's what I do a lot of the times, because I'm so used to doing more than one thing in one day that, you know, I just do my job for the most part decently fine. But there's times where I'd be fucking tired and not give a shit about customer service or the customers when it comes to my fucking jobs, bro. Because the customer service jobs, man, those motherfuckers be kind of crazy and entitled as shit. Like, especially when it comes to food, like, I have never seen so many petty bitches that are grown as hell get mad over some fucking hard cookies that you could just fucking put in a pan for like 5 minutes, or not even that. It's absolutely absurd. And they also throw the biggest fucking bitch fit if you don't fucking bend their back for them, and I find that shit kind of funny. I also do find it kind of ironic when I see managers bend their backs for these fucking pieces of shit people, because most of the time, bro, they're always in the wrong. And I love it when people say the customer is always right. Nah, bitch, the customer is always fucking wrong about 60% of the time. And the other times, they're usually pretty nice about the shit that we do fuck up, or whoever does fuck up. Anyways, everybody, that will be it for today's video. And if you guys have any type of discussions about something like this, or stories about what's happened to you at your guys' fucking jobs when it comes to people's health, or stories about people just getting canned for crazy shit like that, let me know in the comments below, because I love reading the scenarios and stories of what people say. And I read a lot of stories. A lot of them has been really entertaining, but also fucking wild. And the last thing I do want to say too is that I have some good news about my current YouTube channel, the main channel. I decided to move a different direction with it that's more personality driven, like this type of content. And I uploaded my first new video on it, and it's about like anime being weird and shit, but fuck, I hope you guys like it. It's more like a highly edited version of this. So if you guys are into my type of personality and talking about other topics that's not just work and life, that's on my other channel on Marks. I'll definitely put the video in the description below for you guys to check out. With my collab with Wylearn, I've been also kind of inspired by him and BizPath on doing some type of consulting calls of some kind, but it's not going to be business related. I figured this would be more like a meet and greet, kind of get to know you type of thing, get to talk to you for like an hour, and maybe charge like, you know, $30 for like an hour. It's not official yet, but it's kind of in the process right now, because I think it'd be really fun. I also really like to hear people's like problems in life, and I also would like to really help people in general, and I would like to, you know, give out some genuine long-term advice. It's like, instead of short-term answers on a Maury Thursdays, I would like to, invest my whole time into one person for like an hour, and I feel like I could definitely provide a good service. So if you guys are interested on that, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll starting a business where I can consult some calls for some fans, because there's some people that could definitely relate to this type of shit. I think it's really cool that some people are willing to reach out. Anyways, everybody, that's all I got to say for today. And y'all stay healthy and take care of yourself.